This is the summer of 1729. Sorry to repeat myself, but it's United Provinces Empire Total War Grand Campaign. And you can see we're picking up straight from the last video there, trying to negotiate as usual. Only this time it's a negotiation with Austria, who are trying to negotiate with me, who I've been taught a little expression for them. I'm told it's a Dutch phrase. I hope it's right. And I certainly know for certain. I certainly know that my pronunciation of this is going to be wrong. So I don't know if it's rot as in the German rot, which would be rot. I really am not sure. But anyway, it's rot op met die stomme aanbiedingen. So I really don't know how you pronounce that in Dutch, and I'm not sure I can translate it openly actually, but I can say it's something off with your stupid offers. So I think you could probably imagine what it is, but if I was to do that sort of German-ish, I'd say rot op met die stomme aanbiedingen. Aanbiedingen. Oh dear, I think I need somebody to help me with that. Can I have that in so that I can pronounce it, please? Phonetic, if you don't mind. But, I mean, it might not even say what it says. It could say, I'm a stupid Englishman that can't pronounce my Dutch. Anyhow, thanks very much for giving me that. Anyway, I'm sure it does mean what it says it means. I'm only kidding. But, anyhow, here we go. We're in the... well, I said it was the summer. It looked like winter then, didn't it? But, yeah, I'm sorry, we were in the summer of 1729. We've turned over, haven't we? Consolidation of all the armies. If you remember, I glossed over this bit, so you didn't see all the armies moving around the different places. There's 3 or 4 different places involved here, what with Madrid and Lisbon and Gibraltar, and the troops that I've got down now there in Cadiz, and also in Tangier. Be careful, I'll say that now, in Morocco. And it's juggling all those troops around so that they're happy in Morocco, in Tangier, and also happy in Gibraltar. You know, they've got enough dragoons sent down from France and from Portugal, and then getting enough troops together to put them on the ship. I don't know if you read it, but on the information on the last video, I said, I wonder if you can guess where I'm going to be moving all these troops to. Well, you've probably guessed by now anyway. I'm sure if you've been watching what I've been doing, you'll know exactly where I'm going to go next, but I certainly will be giving the game away shortly. These are all the troops. You're going to notice a bit of a blip here now. I'm one for giving tips anyway, and I like to share my mistakes as well as my good points, let's say, as well as my achievements. And can you see what I've done there? I've got all the ships there in the port. I believe that one is... I know it's not Cadiz. Cadiz is the Spanish one, isn't it? That's the one just to the left of it, if I'm being accurate here, or if I'm being to the east, if I'm being even more accurate. To the west, sorry. Oh, crikey. So anyway, I think that one there, near Gibraltar, I'm pretty sure it's called Sandy Beach, because Jib, that they call it in our armed forces over here in this country, it's very famous as Jib, of course, or the Rock, or whatever. In fact, they call various parts of our armed forces Rock Apes, because they spend a lot of time in Gibraltar, so they actually call the troops the Rock Apes. But anyway, we know it as Jib, and I'm pretty sure it's Sandy Beach is the port that's over there. Anyway, you can see what I've done is I've put all the spare troops that I've got, I've made up a full 20, put them on the fleet there, and then I've sailed the fleet down. I've left one ship behind. I've just left a brig behind, because I thought, well, that'd be quite handy. It'll block up the canal area through there. But I'm not too sure. Well, in fact, I say I'm not too sure. I know exactly what's happened, and I'll share it with you in a moment when we get to it. This is that blockade that I've put on. If you remember, I'm defending myself against, really from the Marathas now. They're my only enemy in the game now, because I've made peace with all the others. The Marathas, if you remember, tried to attack Ceylon with an army, and I beat them off there. Amphibious landing. They've also tried an amphibious landing on this coast here of South America, and I blocked them. Now I've got peace with Spain, at a cost really, because I mean I'd like to have taken Granada. It's a good money spinner, is that one? But anyhow, I've broken a peace with them, and so I feel fairly confident now about stringing my boats out. I'm kind of looking forward to the Spanish not being able to sustain such a fleet and starting to scupper some of their vessels. So as they're declining, I'm improving. Also, Austria, who are quite powerful, they're at war with Spain at the moment, so that should keep them occupied. So I'm quite happy to string out my boats again all the way along this coast to defend against a possible Maratha invasion. See, the trouble is, if I defend all of this with land armies, it's going to cost me a fortune to maintain them, and the strongholds to build as well. So I really need about 3 or 4 troops in each of those areas, and I also need to have forts in them. Forts are 4,000 each. There's probably about 3 places along there that haven't been that haven't had fortresses built yet, so there's 12,000. Then there's the troops to build for each of them, or rather to recruit for each of them. I've probably got 1 in each place, so I need to recruit another 3 in each place. 3, 6, 9, 12. Call it 10 to make it simple, around about 800 each. That's another 8,000. 8,000 on top of the 12,000 I've already mentioned. That's 20,000 it's going to cost me to man those forts and build them, and then I've got to maintain the troops as well, at around about 150 per turn. So I mean, it's easy enough to round that 20,000 up to what, 25,000 or even more over a period of say about 5 turns, you know, and all because of a possible Maratha invasion, when his ships, as I can see, I can look round India, and I have looked round, they don't seem to have any decent ports. They all seem to be sort of trading type ports, so they can't have good ships. I can't see them having anything better really than brigs, mainly sloops and what they call dhows, which are very poor quality merchant ships. So provided I can get a decent stack of ships together, or should I say a fleet together, I should be able to ward off any possible invasion there from the Marathas. Could be just wasting my time, of course, sitting them around there, but anyhow, it's a preventative measure. What is it? They say something about prevention being better than cure, don't they? Anyway, I was telling you about that fleet. Did you notice there? The brig that I'd left behind was the one that had the army on it. So I moved the army into there, put them on the fleet when the whole fleet was in there, moved the fleet off, and the one ship that had the army on it was the brig. Now, it's absolutely crazy that that is happening. You should be able to see which ship it is that you've got your troops on. So now I've ended up bringing a brig out of there that really I didn't want. I don't regularly save games. I only save games up until a point, you know, when I've finished a recording period of time, so that I can just start it up in the exact same position again when I start the game. So I couldn't just go back to a saved position or anything. You know, I've had to actually go and find that ship and then add it to the fleet. Would have been much better if I'd have just moved it directly with the fleet in the first place and left the brig behind. Anyhow, enough grumbling. We're back in the Americas again, just having a look around, see what's here. This is my agent that I recruited over the turn. On an island in the middle of nowhere where I can't use my boats, you know, because I'm using them to blockade. And this is another one of the problems with an island colony, really, or empire, perhaps. Oh, at least this chap's in a sensible place, a missionary in France. So I move him over to, you know, the Northern Europe places. At the moment, we're feeding from France into Southern Europe and also into the northern parts of Europe, to try and convert everybody to the Dutch Reformed Church. As you can see, killing that priest over there has been totally, absolutely hopeless, complete failure. Anyway, here we go with our fleet. We've figured out where it's going to go now. We should be able to have a bit of fun over there with some decent ships and a decent army to play with the Marathas, or at least somebody in India.